so there's another dimension book, and this is kind of, it smells old, it feels old, it feels like there's dust like fused on. So there was a Dimension 100 PBX after all. So this little booklet is essentially, I don't know how much I paid for this. I think I paid a little too much. But there's organizational charts to direct people to wire the dimension properly for electrical. And these are like checklists. You have to check every box. It's kind of important. There's grounding, which is kind of important. And this is also nice, the card, the feedback card. This goes to New Jersey. Okay, good. Yeah, so this was dated, there's no date on it, which is kind of weird. Although it's interesting, it says right down here on the bottom, for Bell system use only. So that's interesting. Yep. Alright, so this one you're going to really like. I highly bet. So this is something worth adding to. This is something really noteworthy. I've gotten so far to the point that the only books I'll buy are something that's vintage, and then collect vintage, and then like go with ebooks for anything that's current. So this is the granddaddy. I think this is only like a few dollars, but this is the AT&T source book. Yeah, this is kind of awesome. That Merlin of King Arthur's age would weep if envy if he knew the ease of telecommunication AT&T invented just for you. Yep, so this is from spring 1988, and these are catalogs. I've heard about them. I have not seen them personally, but this is basically for small business, and this is around the time when AT&T had their phone center stores, those brick and mortar stores back in the 70s and 80s that actually sold the Mickey Mouse phone, the Snoopy and Woodstock phone, and their small business phones. You could actually buy a Merlin in a brick and mortar shop way back when. Wish we had those these days with the current AT&T shops, but I digress. So these were all the Merlin sets that were around in late 87, early 88. So you had the 5-button. I like the 5-button, it looked cute. Then you had the 10-button one. Then the built-in speaker, aka BIS. And then the BIS 34D. What was interesting was AT&T did not obsolete the previous generation, the ones that didn't have the hard button and the ones without the speaker. So these three sets did not have the ability to do a two-way speaker. That's because they wanted people to spend $333 for a hands-free unit. AT&T was kind of like Cisco in those days, but hey, to be quite honest, they had a better monopoly. Sorry, I couldn't help but to resist. So if you bought a 5-button set, I don't think, does that have an adjunct? I'm gonna say not. The 10-button set, so $370 plus the hands-free unit, we were paying about $600. Meanwhile, the hands-free set with the built-in speaker, you could get it for $370. That's kind of funny. And what's also funny is that the built-in speaker 34 button one was for $440, but if you want the similar type without the speakerphone, you have to pay $625. That was really, yeah, that was very logical branding. Now, I'm not sure about the feature packages, if those were different abilities or they were upgrades. I don't really know much about the history of the feature package. The Merlin 34 button one with the screen, yeah, it's really innovative because it really couldn't give you caller ID. The Merlin systems were not capable of getting you caller ID. This one was really cool, the display console. This was basically a 34 button phone with just add-on modules put together as one for $1,000, $995. Just only $995. So these were modules for the Merlin 820, because that was a model that had removable modules, and the circuit board was all in this plastic, which I thought was really good for phone systems to have the cards not be exposed. Just saying. In fact, you can even upgrade the larger Merlins to more things. Yeah, I'm probably going to scan this and post this on the museum because this is pretty awesome. So, oh, this is the Merlin 2. This was basically the Merlin, the precursor to Merlin Legend, and then Magix.